What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Zeus, and I'm back. I am back with another video. Before we even start this video, man, just leave a like, comment after you see what I'm talking about, and subscribe. We're headed to 300 subscribers, and we are taking it the humble route. So, a lot of things are going on in the world. In the United States, this administration that's here now. Safe to say they're shaking things up. But somebody sent me this video about the USAID, I believe. Yeah, essentially one of the arms of our government, which deals with developments and foreign countries and things like that. But Elon Musk and Doge, they kind of put a stop to that because they want to understand what we're spending money on in these foreign countries. So it looks like there was a Senate Homeland Security Committee held a hearing about waste by the foreign aid bureaucracy, and we have a Senate Homeland Security Committee hearing with Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky, who lists an example of what he calls wasteful spending at USAID. So I want to play some of this video. Just want to hear what you guys think, and let's have a discussion.
The committee will come to order. Today, we are going to dive into reckless and wasteful spending of our federal government, particularly when it comes to foreign aid. The United States should not be the sugar daddy for the entire world, especially not for countries and organizations who act contrary to our nation's beliefs. Our country is $36 trillion in debt, yet we continue to send billions of dollars overseas, often funding projects that are not just useless, but in many cases actively harmful. Taking the path to fiscal responsibility is often a lonely journey, but thanks to Elon Musk and Doge, they've brought to light the waste that I've been highlighting for over the last decade. Every year I release my Festivus report to expose the ridiculous spending of the federal government, and this past year was no exception. I uncovered over $1 trillion in government waste, with the State Department and USAID being some of the worst offenders. Let me give you just a few examples of what these unelected bureaucrats are spending your hard-earned money on. $4.8 million went to Ukraine's public affairs office in Kiev to fund social media influencers. Instead of protecting our own border, $2.1 million.
Did he just say we sent money to Ukraine for social media influencers? Where is that money? I could have used that money. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Was sent to Paraguay to enhance their border security. USAID also funded a group of Ukrainian women-led designers to travel to the Paris fashion show. I don't know about you, but I'd imagine Ukrainian women have more important things to worry about than appearing in the Paris fashion show. USAID spent $2 million on transgender surgeries, hormone therapy, and gender-affirming care in Guatemala. $3 million was spent to promote girl-centric climate action in Brazil. And I'd love to picture what a conversation about girl-centered climate action looks like. It's like, hey, Barbie, do you know what girl-centered climate change is? Since when do we believe arguments need to be tailored for girls to understand? How insulting to women at large that they think there are special arguments for girls to understand that are different than boys. $25,000 to fund a transgender opera in Colombia. Was nobody in Colombia willing to buy a ticket? USAID spent $32,000 in Peru to create a comic featuring a trans hero to address social and mental health issues. What does that have to do with diplomacy? $20,000 to fund a DEI program for a drag theater in Ecuador. $20 million was spent to produce a new Sesame Street show in Iraq. USAID spent $6 million to promote a project boosting sustainable tourism in Egypt. I guess the U.S. is now the travel agent for the entire world since they spent $50 million on Tunisia's tourism. even though it's already one of the most visited countries in Africa. USAID gave $87.9 million to help Afghans farm, and incidentally, farm poppy, the plant from which opium is extracted. As of 2021,
That's crazy. Let's keep watching.
Afghanistan supplied 90% of the world's heroin. I thought the saying in the U.S. was just say no to drugs. How about we just say no to wasteful foreign aid? $70,000 for a live musical event to promote diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility in Ireland. State Department paid $330,000 to compile a disinformation index to blacklist conservative media outlets. USAID funneled over $54 million to EcoHealth Alliance, funding the very organization linked to the Wuhan Institute of Virology, the likely origin of the COVID-19 pandemic. Disgraceful. $15 million was awarded to Taliban-controlled Afghanistan to distribute oral contraceptives and condoms. There's still a $3 billion fund for Afghan reconstruction that I've tried to take that money to pay for other things that the government is spending money on, and yet there's been resistance by the other side to deplete that fund and say, we're done funding things in Afghanistan. This is just the tip of the iceberg. These are taxpayer dollars being used to fund ideologically misguided, ineffective, and unnecessary projects, thanks to the blundering bureaucracy, while our own citizens struggle to put food on the table. This is not what our government was designed to do. The U.S. government is not a charity, and it should not be doling out cash to foreign organizations, some of which actively oppose the United States with no oversight. And we don't have the money to give. We're borrowing the money we send. We need to ask a simple question. Why are we borrowing money to send money overseas? Even if USAID eliminated the crazy left-wing grants for trans operas, it still makes no sense to borrow money to then turn around and send it overseas. Borrowing money to send as charity is like the worker who has no money left after paying for their food, rent, and gas, saying, oh, well, I see this homeless person. I have such great sympathy. I'll go to the bank and I'll borrow $1,000 to give to this person. That's what we are doing. We can't pay for our own, and we are borrowing the money we send overseas. That money could be used to pay down our $36 trillion debt and take care of the American people, the very people who actually pay these taxes in the first place. It's time for a real change. America should not continue to be the world's piggy bank. It's time to end the waste of foreign aid and end the bureaucracy, and for once, do what's right by the American taxpayer.
Yeah. So you see that, right? It's really interesting. I mean, when you get to the age of starting to work and you get your first paycheck and you see that they're taking federal income taxes out your paycheck, and then you learn that, you know, some of the money that's taken out of your taxes has gone to, you know, foreign countries for various reasons. It's kind of alarming. It just really makes you think. Why does my money go there? Why can I keep my money? You know what I mean? Because federal taxes are for, you know, issues that are, you know, for the United States, whether that be, you know, federal roads, highways, infrastructure, whatever. I mean, in that case, okay, you know, you could take some of my money so we can keep our system running smoothly. But if you add it up, just what, you know, this senator just uncovered right now, we're talking about multi-million-dollar packages for things that not only that we are unaware of, but some people might not necessarily agree with those types of things. Now, if you're unaware that this money is going here and you don't even align or agree with those things, that could be a major issue for some people, right? And I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, because I know a lot of people are losing their jobs in the federal government and different things like that, and I in no way, shape, or form want to see anybody's way of life or their livelihood be compromised. But when something like this is discovered, it will raise the eyebrows of American people and say, what kind of organization is this that's sending my money to fund so many different things that I'm unaware of? Funding stuff for America is one thing, but sending money to Afghani farmers who farm poppy seeds. I mean, hey, you know, it's really alarming, and that's why that's why I'm starting to think that you know a lot of this downsizing of the government is happening, right? Because if you excuse me, if you really think about it, it's almost like our economy has been supporting a numerous amount of jobs that is like really unsustainable. You know what I mean? And like the natural economy that America runs on, which is a capitalistic economy, meaning that money is naturally circulating through the economy, and you know people are spending money, people are making money, people are creating jobs naturally instead of it being artificially propped up by the federal government. So when you see things like the layoffs happen, or when you see the jobs report happen, and you know they say we've created this amount of jobs, and then a month later they were like, oh, we have to actually edit that. um you realize that a lot of American people were really paying for services that people who work in the federal government are using as paychecks, but some may argue, but these jobs really aren't adding value. And it's a hard pill to swallow, you know? I think the idea of job security is no longer the case. Even last year, 750,000 jobs in the private sector were lost, right? And now people are in the federal government. People were so blindsided by this type of thing. It's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. But when you uncover something of this magnitude, millions and millions of dollars going to different countries for, some might argue that that has nothing to do with development. It's like, it's like you really have to be, I don't know, because like myself, I was super young during the 2008 housing crisis. My parents were able to, make a way. They were able to stay down. It was tight then, but this is kind of like our version of the 2008 crisis. We are gonna make it. This is not gonna be easy. Going back to what I always say, 2025 is gonna be a great year. It's not gonna be easy. You know, right? So it makes you think, right? With this administration trying to downsize the government, you know, forcing people to come back into the office, forcing people to participate in society, which could, you know, um, create more economic activity, whether that's eating out more, going to, games and things like that. I mean, people are still doing that. Buying clothes, using public transportation more. I guarantee you, Metro has seen an increase of money because of everybody going back to the office, and that's money circulating. Going to the gas station, buying snacks at convenience stores, all that type of stuff. Um, that stimulates the economy. you know? So if you really think about it, just stay down. Cut your expenses. Try to be the best version of yourself. And if you believe in the Most High, or if you believe in something greater than yourself, then you know you're destined for greatness no matter the type of situation you find yourself in. So don't be too caught up in the fear mongering, because there's a lot of news is going out right now to scare us, but just stay the course. You know what I mean? This video, somebody sent it to me, and I was flabbergasted, to say the least. You know, we got to do better, man. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you agree that, you know, agencies like USAID should be sending money to foreign countries for this type of thing? Is it right that the federal government gets downsized? In a way, it's getting downsized. Going back to the office, forcing people to stimulate the economy versus printing more money. Does it make sense? Let me know what you think. And if you haven't already, please like, please comment, send this video to somebody who you might think might enjoy it, and subscribe. We're on our way to 300 subscribers, and we are taking it the humble route. And always remember, it's you and I verse for a reason. That means I teach you, you teach me, and we take what we both taught each other and learn from each other and apply it to what's going on. That's the only way life can go on. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.